between the cooldowns on Kassadin's ultimate so that maybe Kassadin can flash in, try and get a quick kill onto Kog'Maw, and then, you know, Zhonya's and then get out safely. But otherwise, you know, generally the same items we've seen all game for TGF. We do have the Bloodthirster is finished on the Grave, so he is dealing a lot of damage, but he's not really that tanky. And Udyr, you know, he is building kind of tanky, but he went with a Wriggles build, you know, and Tiger, which is very surprising. So he, you know, considering that they didn't have, you know, another tank other than Udyr, so he's excuse me, that build going that Wriggles and that Tiger does make him significantly less tanky than he would be otherwise if he went Phoenix and went for, you know, pure tank items at this point. So unfortunately, he can't be as aggressive as he would like, and then stand up there for all of these ranged champions that he's got on his team. You know, as he continues to farm, hopefully he'll get some big items, but right now he's pretty squishy as far as Udyr's go. They are going to push up this top tower. I'm not sure that Team Green Forest is going to be able to stop it. They're not even going to try. Yes, it's almost at a quarter health, so it's going to go down very quickly. They are moving up into position, prevent this second tower from going down, but then also see if they can get a good engage. Right now, Tarek's split from the team, but, you know, regardless, they could just kite back to him, and it really wouldn't make a difference. We do see the Zeal on Kog'Maw. That movement speed will allow him to, you know, effectively deal damage without, you know, allowing the enemy to get close to him and, you know, kite that Kassadin. They are going for Dragon, or for Baron once again, but they still don't have vision of the enemy team. There's the ward from Tarek, and the enemy team's definitely not in position. This is going to be a Baron. Who's going to get it? It's probably going to be 40 West Gaming, and yes, there it goes. Udyr trying to come in and steal it, but, you know, they were able to take that Baron, and not much of an effort to prevent them. So that Baron is probably going to lead, you know, to a GG push, kind of. They are at a little bit of an advantage, and this is really when their team is at its strongest. The enemy team, you know, haven't gotten to their strong point yet, really. They're still, you know, a little bit behind. And then that Baron, that huge gold advantage, the damage, the ability power, the regen, they are going to be able to aggressively push down this tower. Here's another tower. There's nothing they can do about it. Sion can just zone the enemy off. How much?
You are nothing more.
There we go. Sion has 424 ability power, so his shield is going to block for 700 damage and then deal 700 damage. So basically, Sion can just run right at the enemy. The ultimate from Kog'Maw, Kassadin's going to have to back. So once again, they're all full health here, but the enemy team getting low. This next creep wave is actually way far behind, so they aren't going to be able to get this damage while Kassadin's gone, but they're going to try and spam that damage. They are going to be able to poke down this tower, and then Sion, like I was saying, does have that huge shield, so he's just going to run at the enemy, be like, hey, you know, you can attack me and deal no damage, or you can take a shield to the face for 700 damage. And they are trying to defend Tarek, taking a lot of damage. Sion getting kind of low, but Kassadin, the damage goes off. Sion is going to be okay. Trundle's still chasing after underneath, but he is going to go down. They're chasing after him, but Flash from Trundle is able to get him out. And the ultimate, or the stun from Sion, he flashes in for the shield. The shield was not ready yet. There is a 3-second activation on that shield, so he wasn't able to pick up the kill onto Janna and steal that Oracles, and then they were able to pick him up a little bit too aggressive. They really could have just taken a step back, pushed down that turret without picking up any kills, but he really wanted those kills, and unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out. If that shield had gone off, not only would it have killed Janna, but it probably would have gotten another kill and then gotten everyone else close, because everyone was kind of in an AoE around Sion, so I recognize what he was trying to do, but they probably could have just pushed down that tower. They will want to try and get this mid down before their Baron runs off. We do see it's at a little bit less than half, so they are going to be aggressive with this one next push. Kog'Maw, regardless, has a lot of money. He is going to be able to get that Phantom Dancer the next time he goes back. Rise, getting a Catalyst, will make him a little bit tankier, so he is building towards that Banshees. Trundle, you know, working on a Frozen Mallet, actually, so that slow will help him out along with the HP, and then with the auras from his team, you know, he will be inherently tanky along with his ultimate. So Trundle, you can build a lot of HP and know that you're going to be tanky naturally because your ultimate's giving you a lot of armor and magic resist. We do see that Kassadin, you know, still the same items he was a little bit ago. You know, they can't really get the farm that they want to get back into this game, which is really what they need to do. And you see that 40 Bus Gaming is basically just denying them all game. There we go. The Banshees for Rise along with a... Alright. Technical difficulty. We do have the Banshees on Rise, so that'll, allow him to get in without, taking any damage from those abilities. Be really aggressive. Along with the Revolver is going to allow him to lifesteal along with his ultimate particularly effectively. Trundle did get some armor, so he is probably going for a Guardian Angel. Once he has that Guardian Angel, he's going to be extremely aggressive here. But, while Team Green Forest doesn't have any gold, 40 Bus Gaming is just loaded. They're just racking up the gold and really taking this advantage. So this is really a huge point. They're probably going to be really aggressive here and try and just push and end the game. I would expect at least. Kog'Maw just doing his thing, poking down this tower, and they really can't engage on Kog'Maw. Udyr coming up, trying to kind of bait them on him, but they don't need to fight them, and that's what 40 Bus Gaming recognizes. They can just sit here and attack this tower. They don't need to fight anyone, because right now they're at the strength where Team Green Forest can't engage on them. So that's what they really should be doing at all these towers. Just walk up, attack the tower, don't worry about the enemy unless the enemy engages on you, because then they can just clean house. Cog is going to try and poke, won't be doing the most damage, but if he can pop those Banshees, that'll be fantastic. Particularly trying to get the one off of Caitlyn. Kassadin flashes in. Unfortunately, the E goes in the wrong direction. Can't really get the engage that they want. And I think that 40 Bus Gaming's probably going to be able to, as long as they can manage this correctly, just poke down this tower with time. Mid is going to push for Team Green Forest if they can hold them off here. So, if they stall long enough, then 40 Bus Gaming will definitely have to stop for a second and change their approach. But here we go. Kog'Maw throwing off that damage, takes the tower to below half health. But the fog from Graves and then Kassadin flashing in, tongue-tied there. Sion flashes after them. He gets the Sheen proc onto Kassadin, able to pick up the kill onto Janna. Janna just barely getting out of there actually, and Udyr taking a lot of damage. They can't get the Kog ultimate. And Graves just, maintaining high health this whole time. He has no mana. Caitlyn is going to have to back out. So, they were able to pick up, was it one? They just got one kill, but everyone's very low. So this tower is going to go down. And now they are going to pressure this inhibitor. They do need to watch out because the enemy is all going to be coming back at full health. They are going to get this inhibitor, but then they're going to need to be really careful going back. They do have that Trundle Pillar along with the snare and the stun to get out, so they are going to be okay. They probably could have turned on Udyr actually, but the concern is then that Graves and Caitlyn run you down. So they are still running away. Rise sitting in that bush wants to get an engage, and Graves is going to throw off his damage. He's got that I guess Nocturne. I don't know what you would consider it. That blind. And they are still chasing. They do have great movement speed with that Janna passive. But they are going to back off now, not able to really get in on them as they want to. Need to learn what that ability is called. I'm just like, smoke, fog, gas. A very late Aegis coming off onto Taric, but he does have that Aegis, so that aura is going to help out his team. We see that the Graves is building towards the Banshees. He had the Negatron Cloak a second ago, so if he can get that Banshees, that'll allow him to be really aggressive. Janna has an Aegis of her own. Caitlyn actually going for Banshees as opposed to Quicksilver Sash. They're actually both going for Banshees. I'm a little bit surprised. I would usually expect you to go Quicksilver Sash on these DPSers, because then you can just get out of a stun and not have as much gold involved in the item, but it will give them health. And there is the potential that if they are in one stun and they Quicksilver Sash, then they're going to be just chain stunned, and the Quicksilver Sash wouldn't really help them at all. We do have 40 Bus Gaming gathering around this Baron. They are going to try and take control of it. Trundle chasing after Udyr, throws off the pillar. Can we get a flash? There is no flash, so he is going to have to get out of there. The slow from Janna, and Rise actually kind of distracting them, throws off the snare, and so then they're like, oh, who do we go after, and don't really go after either target. But they are going to want to pressure this Baron. Unfortunately, they don't have any wards, and they can't get vision. They do have this one ward here that'll help them out. They are generally tanky enough where they could probably just, you know, start attacking Baron and know that Trundle's not going to take any damage, particularly with the heals from Tarek. They are actually going to wait here, though. They do have that top inhibitor. They should probably back off a second. They need to engage. The enemy's coming really close. They need to engage here. Cassidon was snared. They're going to get the kill into Cassidon. There he explodes, and the Cassidon kill is really just terrible. They're going to chase down the enemy now. They're trying to escape. Graves throwing up a lot of damage, but he's not really getting close to anyone. He almost killed Tarek, but that's not really going to help that much. The flash from Tarek is going to be able to stun Udyr, and then the stun from Sion. They are able to pick up that kill. And so that's a 3-0. This is good game. We have the GG call. They're going to push mid. Maybe a surrender vote coming out. But if it isn't, then they're just going to walk up and take this Nexus. They may take mid, but they don't really need to. But, you know, generally pretty close game. It was close the entire time. An interesting team comp we saw from Team Green Forest. But 40 Bus Gaming just able to take those very small advantages, and then because they had such a strong mid-game team, they just slowly, over time, push, and, you know, weren't really that aggressive. They were very conservative. 14-6 is the score, so really no kills. Once again, being very conservative, just trying to push that advantage rather than having a bunch of kills where, you know, you give the enemy an opportunity to get in. Sion diving that Cassidon under that fountain is going to go down. But, you know, really effective play and, you know, excellent matches, both of them. Congratulations.